Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Snicker. You can see on my page here that I have used some geometric shapes to make a picture of a family. And that is what I would like you to do today. So if you have some colored construction paper, and some scissors, and then maybe a marker to draw with, and some glue. So scissors, glue, a marker, and paper. You are going to make a picture of your family, and we're going to try to make each one of your people or even your pets using some of these shapes so that you can learn how to use shapes to help you draw. Now, if you don't have any of paper, glue, or scissors, you can always do the same idea, but just with marker. So here is what I did with marker. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you how we can get started. Okay, so let's put that back and let's say goodbye to me. Bye me. And let's start with the blank paper. You can work with any size that you have. So if you have your sketchbook paper, that will be fine too. Now you guys are going to be cutting today if you have your scissors. And so I have a few different colors here. And I also am going to be getting my marker out so I can draw my shapes. So I'd like you to try to draw maybe circles or ovals, rectangles, and triangles. And if you draw them bigger, it will be easier to cut out. So I just have a piece here, and if your grown-up is around too, they might be a good person to ask for your help. Maybe I'll start with my rectangle or square. Now I could draw all four sides of it and then cut it out. Or, since my paper is kind of a rectangle, I could draw part of it and then use the sides for the other part so I have less cutting to do. So when you are cutting, now I have some big grown-up scissors, but you probably have your scissors that are better for your hands. Your thumb is going to go in the little hole, and all your other fingers are going to go in the big hole. So we shouldn't see this, right? The small hole doesn't fit all your other fingers, so make sure that your thumb goes in the little hole and your fingers go in the big hole. And your thumb should be up when you cut, right? Think about thumbs up. If your thumb is down, then you are holding your scissors wrong, or sometimes people will put their thumb up, but then the scissors are pointing towards your body. Is that safe? No, the scissors should not be pointing towards your body. They should be pointing away with your thumb up, and then we can cut. Okay, so when we cut, we use our non-scissor hand to hold our paper. We carefully put our scissors right on the line we want to cut, and then we open, right, and then you feed your scissors and chomp it up and close. Now I was able to get that all in one motion. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my scissors out and turn the paper and go in the other direction. So I line my scissors up with the line on my paper and chomp. And now I have my first shape. Let's do a circle next, or an oval. And I'm going to draw right here on the corner. If I draw in the middle, then I have to cut chomp, 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 chomp all the way there. So I'm going to use the edge of my paper so I have less chomping to do. So I'm going to make a nice big circle or oval. Your hand is going to move in a round motion. I like to keep my wrist on the table so it doesn't move. Like that. Now when I cut this one out, I'm going to kind of do the same thing. Now before I had a nice straight edge to line my scissors up, but I don't right now. So I'm going to turn my scissors and try to line it up as best as I can. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll just make a rough cut around that to free it from the large paper, then it's easier for me to hold. So now what I'm going to do is, because I'm cutting a round shape, I'm going to use my non-scissor hand to turn the paper as I cut. So my scissors are really just opening and closing, and my empty hand is turning the paper. So I chomp, and I'm turning at the same time. So I want you to notice my scissors don't move. They stay in the same place. They go up and down, but This hand is the one doing the moving in the paper. So if you can learn how to turn your paper while you cut, you will become an expert cutter. All right, let's do the rest with drawing. So I am going to glue these two pieces down first, and then I'm going to draw my other one. So I hope you have a glue stick. That's what I'm going to use. And I'm going to open it up a little bit so I have a little bit of glue showing. If I have too much, it'll probably break because I'll press too hard and it'll kind of just pop right out. So just a little bit coming out the top. Now I have a marker line on this side, so I'm going to put my glue on that side so I can hide the marker line. So I'm just going around the edges, following the shape, making sure I have plenty on there. And I'm going to find a place for it on my paper. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to go along the outside and then press it down. Okay. Now I do have some other shapes I want to draw, so let me get a marker out. I'm going to do a triangle as well. So a triangle has 3 sides. If you want, you can try the trick with the dots. Well, you could put 2 dots at the bottom, kind of right in a row, and then one all by himself at the top in the middle of that. Then we connect the dots. I'm going to color it in. And then I have I have 3 shapes that I can use. So if you have lots of people in your family, you could draw a shape for each one of your family members and think about maybe this could be like a dress. This could be like a shirt and shorts, right? This could just be the shape of somebody's body, right? So now let's think about the things that we want to add. So these are kind of all like the main body. We need to add a head. And your head, right, is on a neck. So I'm going to just draw a line straight up from each of my shapes for the neck. I'm kind of drawing stick people here. And then circles or ovals for the head. And then you could think about your family members. So what kind of hair do they have? Is it curly? Is it straight? Is it long? Is it short? Or maybe somebody doesn't have any hair. So you could draw their hair, you could draw ears, you could draw their faces if you want to. I'm going to leave mine faceless. Let's see, let's give this person some curly hair. Maybe this person has some hair that kind of hangs down to the side like so. Maybe this person is bald, but let's give him a hat. Okay? And now we need some arms and legs. We have 2 arms and 2 legs, so we can make the arms go in different directions. Maybe this one has her hand on her hip, so think about the elbow bends. I want to just use a circle for the hands. Maybe this hand is going up in the air. They're posing. And let's give her some legs. So your legs bend. That's why I have a bend in mind. You can think about how your legs might bend. Let's make this guy, let's have him waving. So let's put his hand up in the air and maybe we'll show some fingers here. Show that he's waving. And maybe this arm is just hanging down. And let's give this guy some legs. I'm just going to put some straight legs on this one. And again, I'm doing some circles for the feet. And let's see, maybe this guy is jumping. So let's put his arms up in the air, both of them up in the air, some circles on the end. And since he's jumping, maybe his legs are kind of going out. Ooh, he looks funny. Alright, so there's my picture. If you have any pets that you want to add, you could add some pets in there. Or if you have more people to add, you could have more people. But there's kind of our 3 basic shapes you can use for the bodies. And then draw their details, arms and legs. And like I said, if you want to put their faces in there too, you could do that. If you want to add more things in the background, please feel free to add more details and make it even more interesting. I cannot wait to see what you draw.